Welcome to the True Strength Podcast with your hosts, Jeremiah and Tiffany Head. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Today, we are going to catch up a little bit. We just got back from the CrossFit Games 2 days ago. And so we're just going to talk about that a little bit. I did end up getting third place overall. And but what we're going to talk about is on Thursday night, day one, things did not look so good. And so
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So we're just going to talk about everything that happened and how we got where we got over the course of those 4 days. And all of that. So that's what we're going to dive into today.
Yeah. So, just like you said, the quick version is that like it ended amazing. It ended like in the best case scenario and it started in the worst case scenario. Mm-hmm. And like the thing that's funny about that is the whole thing that we talked about last week and like the Phoenix that we put on our shirt and the Bible verse that we used and the fact that on our shirts we wrote, though I fall, still I rise, based on Micah 7:8. And just all of the things that we had talked about rising out of the ashes and the testimony that we shared about why we put that on our shirts. And so I think that the number one thing that people were reaching out to us, or me specifically, not a lot of people asked you during the CrossFit Games these deeper questions, but I was getting a lot of like, how in the world did you guys know that this was going to happen? How did you know to put a Phoenix on your shirt? I cannot believe that this is what's the story of the CrossFit Games is going exactly with what you wrote on your shirt. Like, how can that be a thing? And so we wanted to start there, like with the Phoenix, because it kind of blew people away. I even made a joke about it on social media when we got back. If you look at Competition Corner, at each event, Competition Corner will create like a little line graph of your weekend, like of the competition, and it starts here and then there's this massive fall and then there's a rising, right? And so I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, Jeremiah actually pulled a Phoenix. Like he literally was at the bottom and then he like made his way up, and like as a joke, like but it was so obvious that there was this fall and this rise in the competition that it was actually kind of funny. It wasn't that funny.
It wasn't very funny at the time. But yeah.
So true. We were not laughing so much in the beginning. But what I wanted to talk about is this idea, and somebody literally said, I cannot wait to hear how it was that you knew that this was going to be the story. And the reality is we did not know that this was going to be the story. We are not prophetic. We do not see into the future. And that's the thing that I wanted to start out by talking about, is because we talk like this on the podcast. Like we talk about spiritual things. We both feel very called to share our faith and to share the transformation that God has brought us through in our lives and in everything that we're walking through. And so we feel very called to share that. But anybody that knows us in real life would say, like, nobody would ever call us like super spiritual people, right? I mean,
no, I don't think so.
We're definitely not like, I don't know what the right word is. Like, I mean, like we are spiritual, like, but like we are not those people that are like meditating all day or sitting in silence to try to hear something or attaining to some level of enlightenment. Like that's just not us. We are so normal and so regular, and we talk so clear and like blunt, and like we just are who we are. There's nothing super spiritual about us. And so I wanted to like just say that like nothing about what God told us about a Phoenix or nothing about what we shared in the last podcast was magical or mystical or anything like that. What we are saying when we hear the voice of God, like when we say God is speaking to us or God is talking to us, God is always talking. We have learned how to hear his voice and how to know when it's the voice of God and how to know like when it makes sense to lean into that thing just because we've desired to hear his voice. But the thing about putting a Phoenix on our shirt was absolutely not prophetic. It wasn't about predicting the future. When God speaks to us, he's not telling us what's going to happen in the future. When God speaks, he's telling us who he is, so that no matter what comes, no matter what happens, we will be able to trust him with it. And that's what I want to get down to as we talk through the CrossFit Games, because this is who God is. This is what he does. God goes before us and he is with us, and he invites us into this story that he's writing, and it's an adventure story, and there's twists and turns and things that we never see coming. But when we are in communion with him and talking with him every day and reading his word and learning and spending that time to try to hear his voice, and over years and months of doing that, you begin to understand better the character of God. So that when there's a plot twist, and I'll just spoiler alert, your plot twist in the CrossFit game was I hurt my calf. Like there was like this injury, this thing that sprung up right on the very first workout. When the plot twist comes, we don't know where that's going to lead. We didn't know it was coming, but what we do know is we know the God that we serve, and we know the God that is with us. And for all of this time when God was giving us this images of a phoenix and a rising out of the ashes, God wasn't telling us that you were going to rise up on the leaderboard and make it to third place at the CrossFit Games. That's not what God was saying. What God was saying to us for the last 2 years, and many things, but one of the key things that he's been talking to us about and reinforcing in scripture and in everything that we're doing, he was telling us, I am a God who can raise anything from the ashes. That's the point of the Phoenix. That's our testimony, that we serve a God. We have a God who loves us and who is capable of doing anything. There's nothing too far gone. There's nothing dead. There's nothing too broken that he cannot raise up and bring back to life. He makes beautiful things out of ashes. That's what we needed to know in the moment when it felt like, oh no, the CrossFit Games are in ashes. It's not that we knew the future. It's that we knew the God who was in charge of the future. And so, like, just again, like, the point of this podcast is not that we have spiritual discussions. It's that we talk about the truth and what it actually feels like when we're walking through these things, and why it's so important to know the truth and to have the truth be the thing, again, back to the belt of truth, the truth be the thing that holds us, the truth of who God is and the truth of his faithfulness and all that he's going to accomplish in our lives. And then it makes those twists and turns, those plot twists, the unexpected things, the things when all of a sudden it feels like we're sitting in ashes. It makes us know that it's going to be okay, no matter what the outcome is, because we know a God who can do amazing things out of ashes.
Yeah. I don't have anything to add. Perfect. That's it. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. That's great. That
was good.
So then let's get into the actual details of the CrossFit Games, because there's a lot of people that watched along with us, so many people, and we'll get to that too. But there are things that we talked about last time it's been 2 weeks now since we recorded the last podcast. And I just kind of wanted to circle back. Like, we circled back on the Phoenix, and the who God said he is who God proved himself to be for us this weekend, and who he will continue to prove himself to be and show himself to be over and over again in our lives. But there are just some other things that we talked about last time that I think it'll be cool to circle back around and to get a recap of what actually happened. So we started the last podcast with the idea of fighting the good fight of faith. That verse from 1 Timothy 6:12. And it was Paul writing to Timothy, and we said he was encouraging Timothy to persevere in the face of difficult things. And fight the good fight ended up being kind of a great plan for what we walked through. Yeah. So
that was all there was.
Yeah. So when it came down to it, the battle at the CrossFit Games was exactly what the battle was going into the CrossFit Games. And it became a battle for your mind and your heart, and what you were going to allow to be the thing that either held you back or moved you forward.
Yeah.
And so maybe let's start. I don't know where else to start other than let's just start at event number 1, which was a 7K run. It should have been on paper. This is a perfect workout for you. You are a runner. You love running. You love endurance sports. You're a college basketball player. You just, you've done half marathons and all the running. Like you're a runner.
Yeah.
So for event 1, we were like, yes, we are literally going to hit the ground running. This is the perfect place to start. So share with us what happened on event 1 at the CrossFit Games.
Yeah. So like when that event got announced, I know I was excited. Again, I like to run. I'm a pretty good runner in CrossFit, especially, I usually do well. So I was like, great way to start. Let's get a lot of points. I felt good in the morning. I woke up, everything was feeling pretty good. All the training up to it, I felt pretty good. You always have little things here and there, but I felt good.
You are a 50-year-old athlete,
yeah.
so you're never like,
you're always dealing with little tweaks and ankles and calves, but I felt good. That would be, if I told you that morning I'm going to do well, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to run 7 kilometers. It's not a lot. It's not a super long distance for me. It wasn't, 4.5 miles isn't excessive. So it felt good, lined up, ready to go, warmed up, felt good. Everything felt great. I was ready to go. I could tell there was some other guys that were also ready to go. And so the 3, 2, 1, go. There was 4 guys that took off like there was a fire that had to get put out. And I was like, whoa, okay. So I let those 4 guys just kind of go out in front, and I kind of separated myself from everyone else and just kind of ran alone right behind them. I could see them. I knew I was running fast. I was running faster than I thought we were going to run, but not uncomfortable, just fast, So felt pretty good for the first couple miles, holding, pretty good paces for me. And about mile 2.5 or 3, just my calf started to burn a little bit. Not my calf, but like down under my calf. Not my, anyways, it's called the soleus muscle. It's down in there. It was just burning, but I was like, I've had this happen before. Not a big deal. Lots of hills and stuff. So, but that quickly turned into like a pretty intense pain, somewhere in the middle. Still running by myself, still felt confident. We had a turnaround. I could see who was behind me. I had a pretty good, felt like a couple minute lead on them. And I was like, okay, I don't really have to go harder than I need to go. I'm not going to catch the people in front of me. I'm going to be good at 5th. Like that's a great start to the CrossFit Games. Don't need to win. But 5th is great. You just need to keep stacking good scores. In the middle though, somewhere around mile 3, it started to really hurt. So much so that I stopped for a second and kind of hopped on my good leg and really thought like, oh no, like I might have to walk. Like that's how bad it hurt. And I was all alone, like literally by myself on this course. There's nobody else around because obviously I'm not going to start walking around anybody else. And I was literally like, no, keep running. You can power through this. Just run through your left leg a little bit. Change your, So I just kept running. It was super sore. And on the middle of the run, one of the guys in my divisions tells me, he's running behind me. He yells out like, hey, I'm not going to race you. Basically like, will you slow down and let me run with you? And I was like, are you like, what is going on? And so he didn't know that my calf was hurting. So he didn't know is that I couldn't outrun him at that time. So slowing down was great for me to like let him catch me. So we ran together for the rest of the time, and he was a man of his word. And at the end, he was like, you're going to get 5th, I'm going to get 6th, and we're going to start the CrossFit Games off that way. And so we never had to race. I never had to sprint. In his mind, I slowed down to let him catch me. In my mind, he didn't try to race me to the finish line. So,
which he would have beat you. How do you?
I could not have gone faster.
100%.
I was running at full, and it was just my leg that was hurting. My lung, anyways, I felt great. I could have run a million times. I could have ran so much faster physically, but my calf was like pretty much limiting me. Came across the finish line, and immediately I was like, oh no, like my calf is hurting.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Yeah. We had the video that I posted. I didn't realize it until later. Your face when you crossed the finish line and you actually shook your head no at me and you were limping.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't like fully realize that until I watched it back later.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, right. Physically, he was, that was not okay. Like he was not okay in the moment. Yeah.
No. So Yeah, so just try to recover it and walk it off and wrap it up and, move on with my day. I figured, I figured it was just irritated. That was what I thought. Like it just had got really irritated and burning because I still ran, 7.5 minute miles for 4 miles. And you really can't do that on an injured leg.
Right. And you were
really,
walking and
I was
you
walking,
were,
I was limping, but I was walking
you were
and I was like,
hobbling
whatever.
a little bit.
I was so kind of worried. It hurt, but whatever. We got back. I recovered. So that's how the whole thing started, just with this surprise calf thing. And that's all I could describe it as. And I still don't really know the extent of that first injury, I guess would be the word. I don't know. I don't really know. It's I've never really had that happen to me before. And
but you still ended up with a fifth place
I was happy.
finish at the CrossFit Games, which is an amazing finish. And not outside of any kind of.
No, perfect. I ran faster than I thought by a lot. I ran, probably 2 minutes faster than I was kind of hoping to run. So it was great.
Yeah, so that it's not the worst start, but there's the calf thing is concerning at that point.
Yeah.
And then we go home or go back to the hotel room and recover for a bit. And the next event we think will be one of your lower events for sure. Yes. We're already preparing that a 1 rep clean and jerk. Yeah. We said last time you're not the strongest athlete in the field. You never have been. Usually, And so we knew that this was going to be like one of those events where like you do the best you can, you put up the best score you can, and then we rally in the next ones.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I was, I knew going in, I wasn't the strongest, anymore, but I also was like pretty happy with where I had come in the last couple of years of getting my strength back. And
you've been working really hard on your
specifically
strength.
on getting the, my shoulder over head back, my clean and jerk. And, I felt pretty good. And I knew, I kind of thought where I was going to start, and in the warm up area, it hurt. I could feel my calf, but I was still able to hit, pretty good 235 pounds 3 or 4 times in warm up over and over and over, which was 10 pounds over what I was going to open with in my mind. So I was like, okay, this is actually feeling really good. And I felt very strong. I was like, I actually feel like I'm going to PR in the last not my all time, but I thought like, I feel like I've got 265 in me. Like that was just a number. I had hit 255 in training the week before.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm feeling good. Like, and the adrenaline's going to hit, and I'm going to probably get 265. That was the number that I had pinned. Obviously, I can't say whether or not I would have got that, but I was confident in that. The calf was bothering me on the jerk, especially when I was trying to load into that calf, but it wasn't stopping me, right? I was able to pop, like get into the jerk. So went out there. I was already nervous because 1 rep maxes are just like, never usually just I'm not excited about it. I wish I was. They're super fun when you hit weights, but there's just.
But you are also very consistent in your lifting. Yes. It's very unusual for you to miss lifts, especially in competition. Like you're a very consistent athlete.
Yes, I know.
You're not the strongest. But you're very smart and you know yourself and you know how you feel. So you're usually a really good gauge of what to put on the bar and what jumps to make and all of those things.
Yeah. So I walked out. Yeah. So I thought starting at 235 it was a safe jump. It was a safe start for me. I was like, this is a guarantee.
Yeah. I've seen you do it 100 times.
Yeah. 100 times. Many times. This is
in training that week. The couple days before I saw you do it.
Yes.
In a warm up gym. Yeah. Just like warming up.
Just warming up, hit weight, staying fast.
Anyways.
So went out there and hit the first weight, and it felt really good. The bar came off the floor good. The jerk felt kind of weird because my calf didn't like it, but I still hit it pretty strong. I felt like it was a pretty decent lift.
Yeah.
So I was going to go right up to my plan was 245, 255, 265. Like we had 4 lifts. We had to do it in 20 seconds. So that was my plan. And I thought, I'll definitely get this. And I knew everyone that surrounded me was probably going to lift a little bit more. I thought everyone was going to hit a lot more. I mean, new division, everyone's not quite as strong. I knew some guys were going to hit 300, but
they did. It was amazing.
They're wild. But I figured 265 would at least keep me in the middle of the pack. And that's kind of what I was thinking about. But 245, I clean it. It actually feels really good.
Clean was beautiful.
I go to jerk it, and as soon as I load, the pain or whatever was higher. It went up into basically my calf, but I couldn't really even describe exactly what I felt because I have popped my calf before, and it wasn't that. I didn't pop it. I didn't rupture it, but it just wasn't there. Totally no. I just had no. And it felt like maybe it was gonna pop. It just was a weird. And so basically, I had to try to jerk 245 pounds, pushing off just my left leg, which, as we've told you before, is the left leg that I had.
He does not have feeling.
I don't have feeling in. So we're really operating in a very good place now. So now my good leg is shut off, and I'm having to use my bad leg, which is still, it's strong enough. And almost hit it still. The first jerk I kind of almost get, but I just can't.
It's out in front of you a little bit.
Yeah, I just can't get under
it
it because I just don't have that drive. So I'm like, oh no. So try it again. I clean it, no problem. Miss the jerk again. Try it again. Clean it, no problem. I miss the jerk again. And I'm just like, oh no, here we go. And I know I watch everyone around me lifting, somewhere in the 250s to 300s. And I was like, well, that was great. That was the, but more than, And so I'm like a little frustrated about not hitting the weight, but more about my leg is now like very much inoperable is the way I felt. Like,
right. The reality of the situation is like hits you on the floor. I see it on your face.
Yeah. It was way worse than I thought. Like,
right.
I was like, oh no, this isn't just a weird thing. This is like stopping me,
Yeah.
So there's nothing I can do. Just I walk off the floor and go in the back and just kind of like have to start dealing with that mentally, I guess.
Yeah, so that's what I want to talk about because the thing is it's really easy to win the battle for your mind, the fight, the good fight of faith. It's really easy when things are going well.
Yeah.
To put on truth and to let truth be the thing that holds you. But the minute that things go wrong, like we said was going to happen and like was already happening, but the lies begin to pour in so fast and so strong that it is so hard to fight against the lies and to stand in the truth. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is that night, of course, as you would imagine, we went back to our hotel room and Jeremiah and I talk. I don't know if you can tell that from our hour and 20-minute long podcast. We talk a lot. We talk all the time. Like we are constantly talking. And so we talked through what he was feeling and what I was feeling. Mm-hmm. And it was a lot of feelings. There were so many feelings. But I want you to share like what were the lies that were coming in that moment. And when I say lies, like it's really just like the thoughts. What are the thoughts that are pouring through your mind? What is your head trying to tell you? What is like as the reality of a calf that you has really limited you and has caused you to miss 3 out of 4 lifts, which I've never seen you do in an event. So there's that. You stood in front of everybody and you missed lifts. It was a terrible score. You got 26th out of 27.
I know.
And so like, absolutely. That's the part in the graph of your workouts where we're at the rock bottom. So what I want to know and like what I want to talk through is what is your head telling you in that processing of that situation? Yeah,
there was a lot in which I think I'm processing there's two kind of things I'm processing simultaneously. There's the real world, I guess, like CrossFit Games things that I'm processing. There's the idea that like I'm not gonna be able to, do all the rest of the workouts. There's that first process that I'm like, or immediately like sad about that. Right?
Yeah, you were sad.
Sad is the word. Like I'm not frustrated. Mm-mm. I'm not disappointed. I'm just like sad. Because I knew that almost every other workout was super calf dependent. We jumped so much this weekend. It was box jumps and it was double unders and it was burpees and it was
sled pushes, which is not jumping, but it's very calf driven.
Yeah, just like everything. Pistols. I don't even know if I could bend my ankle because I couldn't tell. It's like every single thing, probably with the exception of Sunday's workouts, which now I don't think I'm going to make because there's cuts.
So right. You're definitely below the cut line on day one.
On day one. Yeah. And so I was already just doing, I think, with the rational of like, oh no, like this is like, I'm not going to be able to do these workouts to full capacity.
Right. Like in a very physical way.
Like I know what that's like. I've hurt myself in training and I know that when you're hurt, so that's a reality that I'm like dealing with, like, oh man, like I trained really hard, and then from there you start to go through the mental, like psychological thing of like, and then I start thinking about you. And so then it's, I start feeling like, like all the sacrifice that you've done, maybe, you know what I mean? Where I start feeling bad. I'm like, oh man, like we flew to Ohio and you've sacrificed for 6 months. And, I don't think as much we've talked about. I don't think that we've lived that same crazy life that we used to, but there's a little bit still of that. Right. And so
I do put up with you.
You have to put up with me.
So there's that,
there's all that. And so you're just like, man, like you start to think that like I'm letting you down, and then I'm letting down the people at the gym. I'm letting down my coach, right? Like that was the biggest one, is like before you have no one rooting for you. So it doesn't really matter, right? Like if you get hurt and you think that people are against you, oh, great, you guys won. You know what I mean? Versus like now it was very much in my own head of like, oh no, like all these people at home are cheering for me and rooting for me. And like I cannot do what the thing is. Like they're, so like there's this like huge feeling of like I'm letting them down. And so it's more like I was just like sad. I was like really just sad. I was like sad that I was going to let everyone down. I was going to let you guys down, the gym down, and my coach, right? Like people that have poured into me. I feel like that was it, like, which I never really had other than you. Really, I had a coach too, but like it was more like I'm going to let these 3 groups of people down because I'm not going to be able to be me. Yeah. And that was sad too. I was like, I just wanted to be me. I want to like go out there and just express, what the work was that I had put in the last at least 8 months, I feel like, to do the things that I had come back from, I feel like. And so,
and just like anyone who pursues any kind of a sport or a fitness or anything that you've trained for, there's so much joy in getting to experience the full competition, regardless of the outcome. Just the ability to go out and be with the other athletes and to be on the floor and to get to do the fist bumps and to sweat it out with everybody. And the idea of losing, that was very sad. Because
I didn't know any of it. And I think even just like again, the result wouldn't matter. It was just like the opportunity to go and do everything at my fullest capacity and just see how that ended up, right? It's like I don't really care. I'm not there to win, but I was there to say like in these 8 workouts, if I can do them to the best of my ability, I don't care about the outcome, right? I didn't really care about the lift that much. Like I don't care that it was 26th place. That doesn't matter. It was that I knew I had more in me and I wasn't able to express that. And it was like, you only get that one shot, right? In 3 weeks, I can go hit 265 and it doesn't mean anything. I don't care that I can.
Right. We know you can lift 265. Like that.
Yeah.
That's
it's
not
just
the
in
point.
the moment you miss that opportunity and it's taken, And so, and at the same time, I know it's a sport and you turn on ESPN and every day someone's got a blown out ACL or, injuries, and you watch the CrossFit Games, and I've been going back watching every year's CrossFit Games starting in 2013, and people get hurt, right? Achilles pop. So I know it's that you're just like, I was like wrestling with all of that madness.
Yeah. I think that the predominant thing that you were talking about in that evening was that you felt like you were disappointing everyone. You just felt like such a disappointment. Yeah. Another thing that you said to me, and like we were talking about it this morning as we were getting ready, you didn't remember saying this, or like you didn't like. Yeah. But you said a lot of things that night. But one of the things that you said, and I think this is so real and raw, is you were like, people are going to question my integrity if I cannot finish what I say I'm capable of doing. Like I qualified for this event in 3rd place. And if I can't go out and show that I was actually deserving of 3rd place or somewhere near there, if I can't prove my fitness to these people, they're going to question my integrity. They're going to question whether or not I even belonged here in the first place. And that's like a really big deal to you. Like that's...
Yeah. I think that's always been a big deal to me because before we would qualify, it would all be kind of in secret.
Right? Yeah, there weren't videos. There were videos, we didn't get to see them. Public didn't see the videos. And
so I've always felt
there's questions as to whether CrossFit ever watched the videos or...
Yeah, and it used to be a thing that was kind of known, definitely was known, that, people could get away with cheating because they would do really well on qualifiers that no one saw, and then they would go to live competitions and come in last place. And so you just were like, yeah, you're a cheater. And I whatever. But for me, integrity has always been like something that I have held very high. Again, knowing now that I'm an 8 on the Enneagram, that is like ingrained in my soul forever is this level of loyalty and integrity, right? Like those are like, we have a shirt from the last CrossFit Games says loyalty, integrity, and grit, right? Like the three.
Those are like the three words that
Those are like my
literally
characteristics.
Encapsulated Jeremiah.
Yeah, like I feel like those are things I always hold very high. It was those three. So like integrity is very important to me, and so there's this feeling of like, if I don't do well and I have a calf injury, other people will perceive me as not being what I say I am. And I just want those to always match up. You know what I mean? And that's just like an internal thing. I just want those to match up. Like I don't ever want to be, I want to be seen as a person of integrity is like something that's important.
Right. But but that still comes with the fact that like you worry about what other people think.
100%. Yeah.
And then because that's a human thing to do. Like I'm not like, and I'm just trying to point out that you're extremely human. Everything that you walked through, every feeling that you felt, every fear in your head, those fears that like people are going to think I'm this and I don't want to be perceived as that. Those are all of the things that we wrestle with in every area of our lives all the time. You will wrestle with that same thing if you work in an office.
Yeah, 100%.
And versus if you are competing on a competition floor.
Yeah.
We wrestle with these feelings of inadequacy, of disappointing people. We're worried what other people think. We know the truth. We know that you qualified in third. Like there's actually video proof of it this year, which is amazing. I love that actually. I love videos. I love the videos. But it's still what I'm getting at is these are the things that all human beings wrestle with when we face adversity or when things are hard or when things don't go the way we want them to go. We are not super spiritual people. We're not at some level of enlightenment where we don't feel feelings or any of that. The thing that I was dealing with for me, I'm outside of the sport and I could not possibly care less where you finish in the sport, but your sadness it hurt my heart so much. Like I did not know what to do. I didn't know how to process those feelings. We've walked through difficult things together before, but it really did like kind of as you started to feel better throughout the night after you had talked through and processed. It's like everything that you said, like I just started to have this rising like panic attack feeling. Like I wasn't having panic in the moment. There was nothing we could do about it, but I had those feelings of anxiety and of just that feeling that things were out of my control. And I hate when things are out of my control. And the more things feel out of my control, the more anxious I feel. And I got in like that anxious feeling to a level where I was crying and I was upset and over 3 clean and jerks. It's so silly and it's so dumb. But it's not though. Like these are the things whenever we're walking through things, these are the real emotions that we face. And these are the real, honest way that we get through them. And the way that we get through them is we talk about it and we get out the lies. Like we say what we're believing. Yeah. It's easier to get to the truth. It's just like confession, repentance equals transformation. You get to the truth when you let go of the lies. And so talking out loud to each other about the things that we're really, truly believing and hearing and thinking and processing is very helpful moving forward and moving into the next thing. One of the questions that I had for you, and I know the answer to this, but in that moment, you've trained for all this. We've gone on the podcast. We've said we're going to the CrossFit Games. Like we've told all of our friends, everybody at our gym is behind us. We do all this stuff and we get there and then there's an injury. Were you ever questioning God in that moment? Like, was there a time, does that make you question God?
No. The one thing I didn't do was that and I told you, I'm not questioning God in this at all.
The thing that you told me, I don't know when you said it. I don't think you said it that night. But you said it later. Yeah. You said, I don't feel like God did this to me. Yeah. I don't feel like God caused my calf to be hurt.
Yes. This wasn't like some spiritual trial or like, I don't know. I hate all that stuff. Like God wasn't testing me or pushing. God didn't do this to me. God wasn't like, oh yeah, you think you're a phoenix? Watch this. You're going to, how dare, you're going to have to go through this hard thing in front of everyone. That thought wants to get in there. That thought wants to get in it like, oh crap, why did we say this.
Why did we say, though
Why
I
did we
fall,
say-
still I will rise?
We should have said something else. So, no,
I actually texted one of my friends, next year our shirt is going to say, we only win.
we
Only win. That's
Right.
our next year's shirt.
No.
Buy it now.
No, but yeah, but I didn't. I know, like, again, after talking through and coming back to like the truth is like, I'm 50 years old. I have 45 years of sports in my background, and I'm pushing to the absolute limit of my physical capacity that I'm training for. But even in the competition, I'm pushing beyond even what I can train, because that's what happens when you in the competition. You're going to run faster. You're going to lift more. You're always going to do better. So your body's going to be put under tremendous stress. And like I said, like I know that being injured is part of the game, because I've been injured my whole life. Like I've pushed my body. I've never been one to be afraid of injury ever. Like I have been injured in every sport I've ever played, always, because that just is what happens when you go hard.
When you go all in.
Yeah, and that's always a risk that you run, especially in any sport, not CrossFit.
Especially when you're
like,
50.
People like CrossFit's dangerous. I hurt myself running.
Right.
Like
That's
running
true.
is where I had the injury. It wasn't on a ring muscle up. It was hurt. It was
Right.
running. But yeah, so I didn't question God. I knew his plans were good. I knew that everything that, again, I look back and it's like, it doesn't matter. I'm still at the CrossFit Games. I think I told you that one time. Like, I know that, like, no matter the outcome.
You told me that night.
Yeah, like I am still at the CrossFit Games. And 2 years ago, I couldn't walk.
Yeah.
And like, I'm still here and I get to do this. And so I was never questioning it. I was never mad at God. I didn't think any of those things. I think that is, I knew God was with me. He's told me he's with me. He's told me, and I think I was confident in that fact. I didn't have to doubt. I did not doubt that. You know what I mean? Like
I didn't either.
I literally was like, Psalm 23 was in my head all night, right? Like I know, like in the valley, you're with me. Like, and that is the Psalm that like that book was about. So that I read a long time ago. So
yeah, the reason that I asked is because, again, I want to unspiritualize this.
Yeah.
Everything in life is not a spiritual battle. No, like there are spiritual battles, and I'm certainly not downplaying that. But when you compete at the highest level of a sport, you will have injuries, and that is just part of life. That's not God coming at us or test, like you said. It's so.
Yeah.
No. I want that to be like clearly a part of this story too, is that this wasn't a spiritual thing. Your calf hurt.
Yeah. It's
it.
I couldn't lift the weight I wanted to lift.
Yeah.
Like my calf, I strained my calf. Like that was all that happened. It wasn't, no one did anything to me. Nothing was unfair. Nothing was, it makes sense. You try to run as fast as you can. Something might tweak, you know, even though you've trained for it. Yeah, and I never took it as, and and especially now we know, looking back, like, of course, it's like one of those weird things, like God knew it was going to happen, right? Because the way it plays out, but he didn't do it to me. Like, it's like, I don't understand that necessarily, but I never, ever, ever saw it as that at all. No, I was able really quickly. I didn't entertain that thought at all, like beyond.
Yeah.
Crap. Why did we say Phoenix?
And neither did I. But yeah, I want to share that part of it. Because again, we're not hyper spiritual people. We're just regular people at the CrossFit Games. And
I did think, like, one of the things I thought it was like, you did see that you saw me as a Phoenix. And even again, I think maybe the night before, did you say it again? Yeah, you did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You said you saw me again as a Phoenix. And was that the night before? Or was that the next night?
That was the night before the CrossFit Games.
Yeah, and I think I was like, just again, like sad and baffled. I was like, I can't be a Phoenix when I can't do this. Like that thing, and I was wrestling with that. Like I was like, but I did know, like, at first you're like, well, I can't be that Phoenix. So then part of that is there must be something else.
Because here's one of the realities too is, and this happens all the time, is here, I think that God is telling me things are going to go a certain way, and because I see a Phoenix and he tells me your story's not over and all of that. So then you have an injury first day of the CrossFit Games. It would make sense, or like it's very natural for the reaction then to be, well, then obviously I misunderstood God. I misheard him. That's not what he meant. Maybe he doesn't even talk.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't even speak.
Yeah.
That would be what the enemy would want us to believe. And then to walk away from that idea that God speaks to us and to distrust or to like not believe anymore that.
Yeah, that is what he said.
Like,
Instead,
well,
I don't think I know I didn't. It was more like, well, first it was, I don't understand how I can be because I can't walk and I don't get to do handstand walks. So I don't know how I'm going to get around this. Like if every other event was all aerial, I'd be like, great, I can do this. But it still was, then I thought, well, I don't know how that is going to look. It's just not going to look the way that we thought it was going to look.
Right.
I don't understand that.
But never did our heads go to God was wrong or we didn't hear God or he steered us wrong.
Yeah.
It's just that a phoenix could mean 1,000 different things. Just because we don't understand how it makes sense with the outcome, maybe the outcome or this part of the story doesn't look like that's going to be what happens. It's not losing faith. It's fight the good fight of faith and staying in that fight and trusting again that God is who he says he is. And if he is who he says he is, then this is just part of the story and it's not the end of the story. And he's got something else coming along the way. Yeah. And we fully agree that it didn't necessarily have anything to do with your place at the end of the CrossFit Games.
Not at that moment, especially. Maybe now, I don't know. Maybe yes, a little bit, but I don't. At the moment, no. The moment, not at all. Right? We were absolutely just like, well, it's something. I don't know what it is right now.
I don't know what a phoenix is then, or what's going to come. Yeah.
And I was gonna. I knew that. Yeah, I was definitely gonna stay in the fight. I told you they're gonna have to drag me off the floor.
Yeah, that's classic Maya right there. Yeah, he was like, well, we're not going to go home. Like, I'll just go roll down the aisle if I need to, or like roll down my lane to get to the next thing if I can't run to the next, whatever the next event is, whatever the next movement is that I need to be able to do. I'll just get there somehow. You were joking that if you can't walk on your
handstand walk between
legs, you were going to walk on your hands between each station. Just maybe that would throw people off enough that you could earn a few places that way, whatever it takes. So that is the end of day one. Not the best place to start, not where we thought we would be starting. And then day two started with what we actually thought would be your worst workout before the calf situation, which was a workout that involved pistols, which is not a movement that you train.
Not a lot. I don't like them. They're not fun. I just be honest with you, they're not my favorite part of CrossFit. If I was in charge of CrossFit, they would be banned. Because I just don't enjoy them, and I'm tall, and I'm long, and I'm old, and my knees have been through a lot, and my ankles have been through a lot, and you need your ankles and knees and short legs, and I don't have any of those things. So yeah, and they were weighted, very, very, very heavy pistols, and in training, it did not go well.
That's true.
It did not go well in training. I was like, well, this one's going to be tough. Like I thought for sure that would be my worst workout.
100%.
And that was with a healthy calf.
Yeah. And the reality is you woke up in the morning and didn't feel great, but also didn't feel like you were out. Like your calf was functioning in some capacity. Like you were limping and whatever. But basically from here on out in the story, every workout started with, okay, well, I'm going to go down to the warm-up area and see if I can do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how you started.
Every single move was, if it used my legs, I did not try it until 30 minutes before the workout. It doesn't matter what it was. But every move, I didn't test them on like Friday to see if I could do it until right before the workout. And I just, we went into pure recovery and we're just going to go and see how this goes. Yeah.
So you went and you warmed up and you not only finished 20 pistols and all of the other movements, but you ended that workout in fifth place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. One of your top finishes, like not the top, but one of your top finishes at the CrossFit Games, the workout that we thought was going to be the worst one by far.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that was just super
awesome. Like, and again, nothing spiritual happened
zero.
between the night before when I'm crying and he's sad. And like what we did was I went to Target and I bought a heating pad and he wrapped it around his calf a lot and he used a Mark Pro and
Shaved my legs and taped it up with some
taped
KT tape
his-
that I know doesn't work, but that's okay.
Taped I was like, do you want me to buy tape? And he's like, yeah, but it doesn't do anything scientifically, but sure, let's put it on there. It'll make me feel better about my calf.
Yeah.
And so we put some tape on there and some BioFreeze, just trying to make it like a little bit numb. I think you put a knee sleeve over it.
Yes.
Just
as
try
many
to
things
keep
that
it
could
warm.
convince it was okay.
And nothing spiritual.
No.
And again, I'm just saying, like, we didn't have like a meeting and light candles and lay hands and have oils and all. We just, in a practical way, just did everything we knew to do, trusting that whatever the outcome was in God's
okay.
hands,
Yeah.
and it was going to be fine. So just, again, we're just not super spiritual people.
Yeah. And I think, this the biggest thing was like,
But we have a deep faith and trust in a God who we know is writing a good story.
yeah. And I think one of the things I knew going into that day was God was telling me, like, I guess, I don't know, it didn't really make any sense necessarily, but I knew he was basically saying, like, I'm either going to heal it or I'm going to give you the strength to get through it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that he was telling me he was, I felt like what he was saying was exactly what happened. Is he was saying, like, I'm not going to heal it, but I am going to give you the strength to get through it. And it's going to hurt. Every single thing that you do for the next 3 days is going to hurt, but I will give you the strength. He wasn't, anyways, I don't know how to explain it fully, what I felt like he was telling me, but I knew going in that he would give me the strength to do whatever it is. And it didn't mean the outcome was good. I knew I was going to have the strength to get through it. And I don't know. And again, it wasn't like about winning or finish. It was just like, so again, it wasn't like some crazy thing. I just was confident that he was with me and he was going to provide the strength, which is in a supernatural way. I felt like I have strength, physical strength, but like that other level of strength that I knew that he was with me. So there's a piece in that, like, okay, here we are. I'll give you everything I have and you're going to have to give me more, kind of a thing. So that, yeah. So I did walk in with that level of confidence and kind of, I was nervous. That was the most nervous I was, is going into that workout.
Yeah, the pistol workout.
I was very nervous. And
the first workout after
I thought for sure I was going to get to the pistols and just not
stand there or fall.
And especially when I was the first one to the pistols, I thought, well, I might put on a show. Where the whole crowd looks to watch me not do pistols by myself. But I got them done and got them going. And
they were beautiful. Literally like the best pistols I've ever seen you do.
They probably were good, but they were horrible. And I hope I never do them again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. And then, I mean, we don't need to go like play by play through every single workout. The reality is for the rest of the competition, that is what we did. Mm-hmm. We did a lot of recovering your calf and the rest of your body, but like the calf was the focus. Yeah. We had a lot of heating pad time and a lot, like I was trying to like rub your leg and it was very swollen and bruised.
Very swollen, yeah.
I was trying to move swelling out the best way I knew how, which is not at all. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, yeah, you were just able to show up to each event and give it your all. And I don't know all of the placements. The next workout was
it was burpees, and then I won the heat and I got 7th overall. On another workout, I thought for sure I would do bad on because it was fast with burpees, and I'm not tall. I'm tall.
Wait, what workout?
The GHD sandbag burpee.
Oh
workout.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Another
yeah,
one
that
I
was
didn't know.
GHDs, yeah.
Again, I had to jump over a sandbag, and I didn't know if I could jump. And for some, like, of all the workouts, that particular move was as if I had a healthy calf.
Burpee, getting on off the floor and jumping over
I did not feel anything on that workout at all. So that was a miracle. Like, that one was 100% just pain-free. And the workout was over. I couldn't walk again. Like, I couldn't walk between things, but in the moment, I had it.
Yeah, I think there's like adrenaline and like
helped,
all of the things.
But still, you can't overcome like some things. So.
Yeah. So that was
good and
amazing. And then Saturday was the day of like should have been the absolute best day for you. Like going in, we thought as soon as you get to Saturday, everything from here on out is golden for you.
It's
like
good.
you are. Like, these are like the kind of workouts that you love to do. Yeah, that are good for you.
Yeah.
And you did amazing in all of them. Like the first one was
hard just because because it was jump rope double unders, which I'm typically really good at, and I just couldn't jump correctly, so I did do all my double unders kind of on one leg. Still did phenomenal. Like the fact that I got 5th place basically on one leg.
Yeah.
Was great.
But I will say that like that was actually even more than the clean and jerk where you totally missed 3 clean and jerks out of the 4.
Yeah.
That was sad for you, but like it is what it is.
Yeah.
The not finishing the double under workout was you were really sad.
I was sad.
Like you were emotional about that one.
Yeah. I just am good at them, and it was just like so frustrating. That one I was more frustrated because I just had to sit there in it and like not do them the way I know how to do them.
Yeah, you practiced that workout twice. I watched you practice it twice before we went out to Ohio, and you finished both times. And so to not finish, you finished both times in 3 rounds.
Yeah, it was a little bit different
because there was more distance to cover at the actual event that we hadn't accounted for. But it absolutely was a finishable workout for you. And so for you to not finish you were just sad. That was actually the most emotional workout you had.
Yes. I was very sad. And again, again, 5th place is phenomenal. Again, like you really can't be upset if you take a 5th place on a workout. And it wasn't about the placement. It was just that I knew I could finish it. I knew I just was not up to physically being able to. So, but I got over that one pretty quick. I feel I was just kind of like, well, whatever. Like,
it is what it is.
I can't be mad at 5th place. Like that would be really crazy to be, because I also knew at the same time that like I was steadily like just working my way up. Again, like, and I didn't know where, because again, I didn't pay attention, but like you can't just get, 5th, 7th, 5th without steadily moving up. You know what I mean? Like I just knew that was happening. Yeah.
And then we finished that night, Saturday night. This was the last, wait, is that right?
No, then I won the next workout. Yeah. Then there was the sled push workout.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the last one of that night?
No, then there was muscle ups. That was a long day.
Oh man, that was a long day. So you did get your very first CrossFit Games win that day. And it was a sled push. Deadlift workout. And it was a sprint, a 3-minute workout, which is typically not your cup of tea. That is not where you shine usually.
An 18-minute workout type of guy.
Yes, the longer the workout, the better Jeremiah places in general throughout the last 10 years. And so he tied for first place. To have a first place on a 3-minute workout was just phenomenal, and so unexpected.
Yeah. And again, my calf let me push a sled as hard as I could over and over and over. So yeah. And then, that was a tough one, but that was amazing. Got that surprise again. In the warm up area again, I didn't know if I could push a sled. I was actually trying to figure out different ways to use my right leg, and then
versus driving through your calf.
My calf. And then in the moment I just drove through my calf, and I don't know, it let me go. Thank God the sled was light. I actually think it was heavy. I don't know if I would have been able to find that power, but it was light enough to just race.
Yeah.
And deadlifts don't matter on a calf, so you can do that. And then there was the last workout, which was box jump overs, which I didn't know if I could jump.
Right. There was a movement in every single workout from that point on, from the whole rest of the CrossFit Games, that you didn't know if you could do at least one of the moves.
One of the moves, yeah.
But again,
I just walked back there and just was like, let's try. And I could. I found a way around whatever was hurting.
It's a box jump is a different loading and a different landing than a double under for sure. And you're able to compensate probably in different areas and get up on a box and get over the other side. So Saturday, when we had finished Friday, the first day of the CrossFit Games, well below the cut line.
Friday. Yeah. Well below. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
like 8th place or something. Yeah.
Wait, when did the CrossFit Games start?
Thursday.
Okay, no. So Thursday was your bad day, well below the cut line. I think we finished
above.
I think we finished Thursday in 17th place.
Yeah, 17th, yeah.
To where you were going to be cut. You would not have qualified to work out on Sunday. With a 5th place and a 26th place finish in day 1.
Yeah.
So, where you were definitely going to get cut. And then Friday you had moved up the leaderboard. 8th? I think 7th or 8th place.
8th, I think.
And then by the end of Saturday, you were sitting in fourth place. Mm-hmm. And I think this is a good spot to talk about. One of the things that we talked about last time is we talked about how you do not look at leaderboards. Mm-mm. And that did not change in this situation. You did not, again, look at leaderboards. You did not go to the leaderboard to be the thing that determined what you were going to do the next event. Because like we talked about, it doesn't really make sense to do that. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't give you that kind of data. But I want to just point out that if you had been a leaderboard type of person on day one, if the leaderboard had been something that you looked to give you value or identity or like to tell you the reality that was gonna happen, like if leaderboards were the thing that you went to, day one would have told you you are pretty much falling short.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and so I feel like that mindset of not ever looking to the leaderboard served you very well in this event, because at no point did you care what number you were. You didn't know what number you were at all. Throughout the entire thing, mm-hmm. you knew you finished pretty low on the clean and jerk. I didn't tell you what place you were in. Nobody, like, we don't talk about that. But being able to be free of a leaderboard was a very powerful tool for you this week, I think. Am I right?
Yeah, I just worried about the next thing.
Yeah.
Not the leaderboard, because it didn't matter.
Right. Yeah. I think that played itself out really, really well.
Yeah.
So for the first time though, after Saturday night, you knew that you had worked your way back up. And so it was clear that you weren't going to be cut. Like you had to be top 15 in order to move on to competing on Sunday.
Yeah.
And so that on the first day of the competition, we really weren't sure if you were going to even be able to compete on Sunday. And so to be able to compete on Sunday became like the first, like, let's just make the cut.
Yeah.
That was like a first goal. But then things were going well. And you were able to work your way around all the things and do all the movements. Mm-hmm. And so on Saturday night, I felt like it was time to have a conversation with you about a leaderboard.
Yeah.
For like, I think the first time in our competing.
I mean, somewhere in the middle, I think you guys told me at some point on Saturday, you guys had told me that I had moved up to 7th. I think somehow maybe you and Noah were talking about it. And I think that I knew that. And I was like, I figured I was in the top 10 at that point, because I knew, again, I know based on how our lane assignments are, that's about where I'm at.
Yeah.
I know we're first, second, third, fourth. I just know.
Yeah.
So I'm not dumb.
So knowing that about you, that when you stepped onto the floor on Sunday morning for the last workout, I knew that you would know you were in fourth place.
Because I know that.
So we finished Saturday night and Jeremiah was sitting in fourth place, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Literally, I don't know how it happened. I mean, except for that you give everything that you have every minute that you can, and you love it and you enjoy it, and that's just how you do what you do. And so it was amazing. Like, it was so unexpected to even be sitting in that position, but I did not want you to walk onto the floor on Sunday morning and realize that you were in fourth place and not be aware of the fact that I did not think that there was a possibility that you could move into third.
Yeah.
And obviously, anyone that's competed in any sport ever, going for a podium finish is like a really big deal. It's like a really big goal. It's like something that is just, if you're going to play a sport, you want to play it all the way. Like you want to do the best that you can do. And so I was afraid that you were in the moment going to walk out on Sunday morning and recognize that you were in fourth place and think that you were going to be battling for third place, that you were going to need to go in and like do some, or like, I just didn't want you to have like that in the moment panic and that processing happen on the competition floor. So I told you, you're in fourth place, but the thing is, there's pretty much no chance that you're going to move up.
Yeah.
Like I mean, points. Obviously there's always a chance and like whatever, but like everybody that was sitting where they were sitting had a solid weekend of performances, and there was just really no indication that you had really much of a chance to bump up 51 points into a third place finish. So I just wanted you to know that.
Yeah. No, it was good too, because I also knew I had a 55-point buffer between fifth.
Yeah.
So I found out that I'm pretty much kind of in the middle of 100 points. So that was, yes, and it was good to know for the first time, because it meant that I could go out there and just kind of execute.
I thought that there would be freedom in knowing.
There was, and I think if you were to watch the last workout, you might see me maybe not going 100 miles an hour, because I finish and I'm pretty much just like, that was good. Yeah. I'm on the floor for the first time. I played it not safe, but not aggressive, because my goal at that point was I was super content. Like fourth place was going to be the most amazing finish of my CrossFit career.
Yeah.
Like coming out of the whatever I was at to fourth was, when I was fully healthy in 21, I tied for fifth and ended up in sixth because I didn't have a win. And so like I was going to beat my old thing on one leg after coming way out. And so I was very content and at peace with that finish. Like I walked on the floor just really happy of like, yeah, I'm just going to do. And the workout was great for me. It was
a really good workout. Yeah.
Great work, great movements for me, great time domain for me. Like everything about it was right down the pipe for me. But I also was like, there's no chance to catch. So don't be dumb, because you can be dumb on a workout, and at least I can be dumb and make a mistake. And so, so just I think I was just super at peace with the last workout. Like I was going to be me and have fun with it. And
you definitely went out.
I went hard, but I wasn't trying to get to third place.
Right.
I just knew if I just do well, I'll get fourth.
You're going to hold.
Like, I'm not going to get caught and I'm not going to catch. And that's okay. Like, it's sometimes that's okay. Like, that's sport. And I was really fine with it. I was going to get drug tested, and that was all I cared about.
So, side note, one of Jeremiah's greatest goals in life was just he wanted to finish high enough at a major event that somebody would please drug test him.
Just because it would be fun. I don't know why.
That just added to the list of things that you've had experienced in your athletic career. You have officially now been drug tested.
Yeah, so that was fun.
So that was
it wasn't actually it was a cool thing to do.
That was a check mark. So anyways, the way that event ended, you did an amazing job in your event. You finished third place in that event, your second highest finish of the weekend. Yeah. And just the way that it shook out and the way that workout ended up in many of the divisions being a major shake up on the podium. There was just a lot of movement in that last day, and in a way that I did not expect. And
no one did.
When it was all said and done, you finished the 2025 CrossFit Games in third place in your division. And it was amazing.
Yeah. Unexpected. No one thought that was going to happen. I don't think anywhere.
No.
You guys didn't. I didn't. My coach didn't. I think people who don't know the sport maybe thought I was. Like friends back here, I knew it. I'm like,
why did you know?
Based on
statistically, that did not make sense.
The odds were very low. I would imagine they would have been almost impossibly low.
I think I told you that. You did
if there
so
had been
good
odds, it would
to
have
get
been
fourth place, but that's where you're going to be.
1% chance for real.
Yeah, I wish I had bet on you. Oh man, we could be so rich.
It would have been good, but you wouldn't have. We wouldn't have bet on me. I wouldn't have bet on me to catch third because
you're right. We would not have bet on that. But what I want to end with is one of the things that going in you talked about that we'd never experienced before, and that is, what did it feel like this time at the CrossFit Games? For the first time, you said in the last podcast, this is the first time you're ever going to enter an event with a team of people around you, feeling like you had just literally that you were surrounded with a coach and with people at our gym and people at our church and people all around you that were not only for you, they were loud, and they were texting you constantly, and they were texting me. And what did the power of doing this event in a community, what was the power in that for you? What did that feel like, and how did you experience that?
Yeah, they went on. They attacked CrossFit on social media for me.
Yeah, they did. CrossFit Games or Legends or CrossFit Games. After every event, they would post the winners of the events, which is so cool. And they would tag them. And in the event that Jeremiah won, it was a tie for first place. So 2 people won first place, and they only tagged the other athlete. And people from our gym went in the comment section until like they were like calling it out until CrossFit fixed it.
Yeah,
and we were like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Like to have that, to have that kind of like team.
Yeah.
And to have that kind of just like they were going to demand that you got your first place recognition, which is not what we could, like we didn't care about that, but it mattered to them that you got to have that on Instagram.
Yeah. It was definitely different. I think at first it was hard because that was why I was sad, right? The first part was that having the people behind me made it hard to fail for me. It made it hard to think, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do it. So that at first was harder in a way because it's easier if you have no one caring if you're not doing well, But I think like as we went through it, they just kept letting me know that it didn't matter and that they were with us no matter what, and that we were, inspiring them was the biggest thing that I kept getting was this thing of how somehow me doing CrossFit was inspiring people. And so I think as the weekend went along, I think that became what God was showing me kind of. Part of it was like, obviously the power behind that group, our gym and people supporting me just gave me the strength to just show up at every workout and absolutely find a way through it. Like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't about proving anyone wrong. It wasn't about proving myself wrong. It was just like, I got people at home that are like in this with me, so I'm going to get through this. Like I am going to find a way to maximize my body's, like I'm going to get through this workout.
Yeah. One of the things that you said, I think it was Saturday or Friday. I don't know when you said it. You said like all these people wanted to go on this adventure with me, and I don't want it to be a sad adventure.
I don't want it to be sad.
I want this to be
like I really did. I was like, I want people to have a fun adventure. Like if I'm like the games are super fun. I really, really enjoy competing. I really love the whole thing from start to finish. Like, it's some professional athletes, you'll hear them talking, it's empty and shallow. And it's sad that they think that because there's so much there that you can experience. There's camaraderie and there's all these cool things that are, they're there if you want it, if you want to observe it, if you are free of the outcome and you can just soak it all in. It's like, you get to do this with 30 other guys who are the fittest people on the entire earth. Right. And they have sacrificed and they're good guys and they are great husbands and fathers and they're all good guys. And so they're like, it's a cool opportunity. And so people at home couldn't be there, but they were going through it at home. They were watching our videos and I knew that. So it was a lot of power behind that. When you know that those people are cheering for you, that like there is no quit. And I already feel like I don't have a lot of quit in me.
You don't.
But there's more not quit when there's that. Like there's like, you're going to have to drag me off this floor. Like my leg's going to have to pop before I refuse to get out there. I'll find a way through it. And I didn't have to find a way through much. I had, the power to get through it all really well. So there was that. There was just this like overwhelming power source of that I didn't, I definitely have figured out how to compete without anger. Because I didn't have any, I had no anger at all. I never thought about ever proving anyone wrong. I never, ever, those thoughts are gone. I did feel like I was like, the power was just the joy of the competition, being thankful and grateful. And then just the power of the people behind me that are just like, all in. And like I said, all the things they were texting us and Bible verses and you're inspiring me and like burn it down and like all the funny in-betweens of, the
jokes that people were texting
but like
you.
There's there's a Bible verse side by side with like burn it down, like you know what I mean. And I was like, that they understand who I am. Right?
That is classic Maya.
Like let's God gets the glory, and we're gonna burn it down along the way. Like you know what I mean, in a fun way, not in a way that we're trying to take out our competitors or any of those things, right? Like God doesn't favor me over them. There's a bunch of great guys in my division. There's a pastors and there's like I said, so that was super powerful, I think, to have that. And I think even, I don't know. It's a lot of power in that for sure. Yeah, it was good. It wasn't good when it was hard at first, but then I even got to the place where I knew confidently that even if I had to go home early, that they still would have felt the same. I don't think the outcome mattered.
I don't think the outcome mattered to anybody. No. Yeah. I don't even think the outcome mattered to you.
I think that I'm super happy that they got to experience Sunday at home the way it broke loose on like the live stream.
Yeah.
And I now knowing and watching the videos of them watching the videos is pretty cool that they got to experience it from home the way that we got, you know what I mean? Like they knew before we did.
They did know that you got third place based on what the commentators were saying on the live feed that we weren't getting to watch. We were just standing there trying to do math by ourselves, and they had already said you were going to win third place.
Yeah.
And so our people knew before we did that you had made your way onto the podium, and the videos that people were sending, they were sending videos of themselves watching Jeremiah compete, and the joy that it sparked in our entire community was the greatest gift, the absolute greatest gift of the CrossFit Games. And then, of course, like we came home, and yesterday morning was the first day we walked into the gym, and our gym was the floor to ceiling, decorated, and balloons and streamers and signs and notes, and just this giant image of a phoenix that they had found on Amazon. I don't even know, like the things that they did to welcome us home and to celebrate with us. And that's just the way that it's meant to be. Everything in this life is meant to be done in community. It is meant to be done together. That's how we're designed. That's what scripture says. And the joy is multiplied when there are people in our lives to do it with. And that is why we are so thankful for all of the things that God has brought us through, and the story that he has been writing from being the isolated athlete who was just determined that alone was the best way to go, to have this full circle thing where we got to celebrate with 150 of our friends here at the gym, and our people everywhere, and your coach who's just like the most phenomenal human being I think I've ever met. Brandon was just such a joy to get to be around at the CrossFit Games. Like, just as a side note, I had never met Brandon before. That's your coach, in person before the CrossFit Games, and he literally would spend time with you warming up, and then he would find our family for every single event, and like I could cry about it. Like, he stood with us and listened to us yell ridiculous things at you, and in the he brought so much just like peace and like calmness to our family and to the situation, and he was just such a joy and such a gift to you, but also to our family, to get to do the CrossFit Games side by side with him at every workout, and to hear his encouragement. He was literally encouraging us as your family throughout the whole thing. And people were encouraging me to encourage you better. Like, I mean, the thing that happens when you're surrounded by people is the most magical thing in the world. Like, it's the most powerful, amazing thing in the world to be with people and to do life with people, because then it means you get to share the joy and the celebration with other people. And I think that's my greatest takeaway from the games, is that, man, it's so much different in community. It's so much different when you're surrounded by people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was different for sure. A lot of power in it. I think I don't know what else you had planned, but the other takeaway I was thinking about was just like, going in I would say one more thing. I'm already going kind of long, but
shocker.
I know. One of the things I think that I struggle with even going in was like, how are you going to impact everyone as an athlete at the CrossFit Games?
Yeah.
So I think one of the things I was like, I know I'm not like an evangelist. I'm not that guy. Right.
You're not back in the back preaching.
I'm not that guy. Like, and just if the topic comes up, we'll talk about it. You know what I mean? Talk about it. But that's not like, I'm just not that good at that guy. That's just not really who I am, I don't think. And so there was this question of like, how do I impact everyone doing CrossFit, like at the CrossFit Games? And I think that this weekend, like, God really showed me through all of the things that were going back home, and then some conversations I actually had with people, was we just talked about with someone today, it was like, actually, you don't have to do anything special. You just do the thing that God gave you to do, and you do it to the best of your ability, and you do it with integrity, and you just do it well, and then God will do the work. You know what I mean? Like he will do the work. How me doing CrossFit inspires people in our gym, I don't quite understand necessarily. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like in how it encourages them, and how, everyone sees God in all of it, and how, it was God moving through me doing thrusters and things and pistols, right? And him doing the work by me just doing what he gave me to do. You know what I mean? I think that was something he showed me, this, you don't have to do anything other than that, right? And I think that we have laid a foundation. People know who we are. This podcast has helped. The way we run our gym, our testimony is loud, and people know that. And so I think that lays the foundation of, Revelation says, like, it's the power of your testimony, right? Like, so when you tell people who you are, and then you just live that way, God does the rest. You don't have to do more. You don't have to say more. You don't have to go into this environment and evangelize and let me tell you about God. Let me tell you about my testimony, right? I didn't do that. I just lived. And yet I had people coming up to me and saying, I want to talk to you about your gym and like what you guys are doing there and what that. And I had 2 different people talk to me about that. And I had another athlete, we're just sitting on the salt bikes cooling down, and he leads off with like, well, I know that you're a man of God, and he just wanted to cuss. So he was like afraid, like literally not to curse around me because he knows that I'm a man of God. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Like, I've never had a conversation with him about it ever. I'm not like, I'm never going to pound somebody over the head with that. But like, to be known as a man of God in CrossFit is the highest thing that someone said to me, really. You know what I mean? Like, that's the coolest thing. And then I had other people tell me, and I demonstrated Christ through the whole weekend. And I'm like, I don't know how. If I want to be honest with you, I don't know what I did other than I just tried to be kind to people. And I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So I just think God does the work when we just are obedient. And that was what I hope that was what I learned this weekend, especially in CrossFit. Like, we talk a lot about it just being obedience, right? Obedience. If you guys listen to Jamie Winship, he says obedience is better than sacrifice, right? God's not asking us to sacrifice and be somebody else. He's not saying like, go to the CrossFit Games and sacrifice everything to like evangelize everybody. Just go to the CrossFit Games, be who I designed you to be, go through adversity with me, power through it, give your all, keep your head up high, attack every workout, no matter what the outcome is, like be friends with everybody and let me do the work back home and in the CrossFit Games. And so I think that's one of the biggest things I learned this weekend was like, which is awesome. We don't have to do more than we are, I think. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes so much sense. The power is like, there's this unexplainable mystery to the plan of God that somehow he thought that it was a good idea, that from the beginning of time, he scripted this thing where he would just use regular people like us, that he would equip you and design you as an athlete, and different people would have different equipping and different design and different passions and different things that bring them joy. And that when we live into the thing that he designed us to be, that they would point other people to him. It would bring him glory simply because we were operating as the person that he made us to be. And that is why we talk so deeply and so powerfully about how important it is to know our identity and to know what it is that God made us to do, because it is simply in that. We get confused and think that it's about being a missionary in a foreign country, or it requires you to sell all of your belongings and give it all to the poor. And there are definitely people that are called to that. And for those people, it is their greatest joy to do that. And for you, you have been equipped and designed and purposed to be an athlete and to bring a light into wherever you go in that capacity, and to coach other people, and to show people in the gym a different way of going through doing fitness and all of that. But all we have to do to be powerful in the kingdom of God, to bring God glory, is just be the person that he made us to be. And it is so much simpler than we want to make it out to be. God's not calling you to something hard. He's calling you to be the thing that you know is inside of you. And if you will do that and put all of it in his hands and trust him to write the story of what that's going to look like, we do have this powerful piece to play in bringing the kingdom to everywhere we go.
Yeah. I think we talked about this probably way back when, about like some athletes Christians tend to say crazy things like, well, I can't do this anymore because, my identity is in Christ and it's not in CrossFit. So I'm going to stop doing CrossFit because I'm being selfish and I'm training too much and I'm not doing X, Y, and Z. And I would say, like, find out the truth of who you are, because God might need you to train 8 hours a day so that when you step out on that floor, he's going to be glorified, not because of anything extra you did, but just because of who you are and the spotlight that gets put on you. And like people that walk away from things because they think they're being selfish, I would challenge them to find out if that's real or not, because I think the enemy wants you to feel like you're selfish, and I want the enemy I know, because it's a challenge, right? And I think because it like you just said, it's not complicated. Like if you just live in who you are, and if it requires 8 hours of training every day to step out on a floor and God gets the glory, like go. Like put in the work. Because you wanted to do it and it's in you, because you wouldn't have started in the first place. You wouldn't have trained 8 hours a day for 3 years and then just all of a sudden thought, well, actually I'm being selfish. Like God does give you crazy ideas, and when we back away from them because we believe a lie that because we're Christians we can't pursue it, that's not true. Yeah. At least that's not what I'm experiencing. And the opposite is what I'm experiencing. Just by going out there and pushing as a Christian, you inspire people and you give them hope that like Christians can do crazy fun things. Christians can endure and persevere and show grit and pursue excellence and execute and do all the things that an athlete does. And it doesn't diminish the kingdom. In fact, it grows the kingdom. It gives God the glory. And because you don't have to do anything. He will do it. You don't have to be something special other than the thing that he made you to be. So I think it just reminds me of what we talked about like week 1 or 2, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah. So anyways.
All right. I think we need to wrap it up. This is another
Classic
long
122
podcast. I think we have like an internal mechanism that shuts us off from talking at 1 hour and 20 minutes. But we just love sharing this journey with you guys, and we love sharing our story, and we have loved hearing your stories. Like, please continue to like reach out and ask us questions and talk through what you're walking through too, because man, it has been so powerful to share and then to have you guys share with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And just people telling us that they're, again, somehow the words that we say are helping them or impacting them. It goes back to like, again, like just
talking.
Just do the thing that God puts in you and watch him do the work. Because it's not, it's way simpler. The more that we do, the more we find out that it's way simpler than we think it is. So go do the thing that's in your heart.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great place to end. Yeah. Go do the thing that's in your heart, and we will be back next week.
All right, thanks guys.
Bye. Bye.